humanity.
Okay, so this is a YouTube channel, but we don't think anybody's going to watch it. It's just going to be for us to document how things are going with homeschool, right?
Yeah.
So what year is this for us homeschooling?
For me, it's fourth grade.
Right, but then how many years have we been homeschooling?
This is our first year.
This is our first year homeschooling. So you were at new school, private school for pre-KK, and then you went to public elementary school for 1, 2, 3, right?
Yep.
All right, so
And first grade.
1, 2, and 3. Yep.
Oh, right.
So we're gonna go through curriculum, and mostly I just want to remember what we did and why we did it, and then we'll do some updates, like every month or so, to let you know how it's going. So my first comment is when Serenity came home from third grade last year, she came home with these 3 books that are Go Math, and Go Math is the curriculum the public school uses. And there were still a lot of pages to be filled out, right? So how did you guys use Go Math in school?
So just for like first grade, second grade, and third grade, we started at the beginning, then we just went down the book.
Yep, just kind of started and went through.
Yep.
And so this is kind of what Go Math looks like, and you really were attached to this.
Yes, I was.
Really liked this, so we made an agreement that we would do 1 page of third grade math a day.
And 1 page
of fourth grade math a day, so that we would keep doing the review. So the other booklet that I really liked that I picked up, so we kind of slow started through the summer, right? We did a few workbooks this summer, and one of the workbooks we did this summer was called 100 Days of Money, Fractions, and Telling Time, because they did money and telling time in third grade, but then they just moved on. And so we really liked this book. You did almost all of the money part, didn't you?
Yeah, almost.
And then a lot of the time part. So I'll still probably pull this out from time to time for something fun to do as a review, but I really like this Humble Math 100 Days of Fractions Money. So the next thing I bought was based on a bunch of watching YouTube, and a lot of people saying they loved this program called Math Mammoth, and they liked it because it really talked to the student, and it was challenging, but kids could do it independently. And so I bought the 4A, and only bought 4A just in case. And then when I got it, I really didn't love it. What do you think about it? You hadn't really seen it, have you?
My opinion would be a myth.
Right, so I would agree, because it's sort of like black and white mostly, and a lot of stuff on the page, and then not a lot of space to think or work out problems. I think it's really focused on like base 10 and doing quick math, but sometimes that doesn't work if you have like a ton of problems per page. So I ended up putting this aside thinking we might come back to it, we might not, right? So then I bought this product, which I really loved. This is Primary Mathematics. It's a Singapore math curriculum. It's not their flagship curriculum, which is Dimensions, I believe. But this is their Primary Mathematics, which I believe is labeled something different on their website, and it does follow more what the public school does. And I really loved it because it had some really colorful, and Singapore has a great reputation, and it didn't seem overwhelming. And there are 2 sections, so I have 4A here. And then, so this was where I was going to head. So then I went to a convention, and I saw Matthew C., and I loved the manipulatives, and I loved the idea that it was a mastery approach, so that you would do all of addition and subtraction in 1 year, all of multiplication and division in 1 year, or all of multiplication and then all of division. And so I said, well, I know there were holes, but then I knew a lot of this would be super easy, and so we could fly through this. I liked that there weren't a ton of problems. I liked that there was a lot of space to write. So we started with this for a few weeks, right? We probably did a few weeks of this, didn't we?
Yeah.
3 or 4 weeks. And then she sort of said, look, I feel like I know all this, and you're making me do baby math, and I don't know that I love it. And so I said, okay, well, I'm okay with pivoting, right? She liked Go Math better. She liked how the public school curriculum felt better. So I said, well, let's pull back out primary mathematics, right? And that's kind of where we are right now. In math. So this is what we're doing in math, 4th grade, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what do you think so far?
All of this is kind of new for me, and it's a meh, but I'm okay with it.
All right, so far so good. Okay, so what do you want to do next? Do you want to do language arts next?
Let's do reading.
Okay, let's talk about reading. So I had the idea that we should read out loud 10 minutes a day from a book. And I was getting like the who was books and the who is books and the what was books. And so how did that go?
It went good until I got one book that I didn't like.
Yeah. Which was like a Paul Revere book. Who was Paul Revere?
Yeah.
So we did like who was Helen Keller, and we did a few others that you liked. So she likes them, but how do you feel about reading out loud?
I'm okay with it, but I'm used to like doing Epic and reading on my headphones, just to myself.
So I think what she means is she's on her Chromebook at school.
Yeah.
And then there's a book, and then they're reading the book to you as the words go across, right?
Yes.
Okay, so then the first thing we did through the summer was Evan Moore. So I bought a bunch of these notebooks to try to get started. And we did quite a bit of this notebook. We did almost probably a third, right? And how did you like Evan Moore's reading and comprehension? I like it. The skill sharpeners. What do you want to say about that?
Well, this got me really inspired of reading out loud. So now I like reading out loud by this. It really inspires you. Like the mouse and the lion, that really helps.
So the stories were interesting.
Yeah.
And so what I've learned about Serenity is that she really likes to read a passage, highlight the passage like she's used to doing in school, label the paragraphs, and
answer some questions.
And so we're going to keep this as an option, but then I also, where's the other book? Look for the test book. Okay. Called Test Grade 4. I don't see it. Oh, here it is. So I had done this, and I really didn't like the idea of it. But what I found was that this is kind of what she's used to. So in public school, they do a lot of like reading a short passage, right? Highlighting and then answering the questions.
Yeah, this is basically it, and now we're starting it, and I'm like, oh my god, I feel like I am still in 3rd grade.
Right. So the key here is that she likes this format. This is what she's comfortable with. So between this and this, we'll do some reading comprehension, right? Yeah. And we're going to read out loud. And what are we currently reading out loud? Do you remember the name of it? The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Oh yeah, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
What do you think of that?
It's kind of getting so good. Like, it's amusing.
It's a really good book. I love the book. All right, hand me spelling. So Adventures in Spelling. Don't mess up all those books. No, that's handwriting. The spelling. Okay, so this series I really like, and we did probably 4 weeks of this. It's 180 days of spelling. Basically, you spend 5 days on one spelling list, and I liked this, and Serenity liked it until she got to harder words, right?
Yeah.
Is that where you started to struggle? So.
Yeah.
We got to Unit 8, so that would be 7. So we did 35 days of spelling, and then we got to Unit 8, and we kind of hit a wall. So I think we're going to table this, right?
Like work on it and then just push through the rest.
Like we may table this and not do this for a little while, but we may come back to it because I do like the way this is laid out. All right, and then hand me Michael Clay Thompson.
Wait.
That's that. Grammar Island. Okay.
Grammar Island.
And then for grammar, I love this Michael Clay Thompson. I know it gets it's got a reputation for being really pricey, but I'll tell you, it is a complete language arts curriculum. So I think it does grammar, it does reading, it does writing, and it does spelling, and it does vocabulary. I think you just have to be patient with it and work through it at a pace, right? So it's like you can't take big chunks of this every day, right?
Yeah.
What do you think of it?
Well, I think it's good because we are already we're in the middle of the book.
Yeah, and then we can go to some new books, right?
Yeah, I'm not ready for the new books, but I'll try. But I really like grammar. If we can just continue doing grammar for the rest of for the rest of
we'll do grammar. We'll do grammar forever. Don't worry.
Yay!
Okay. So that's language arts. So we did math, which we're doing primary mathematics, and we did language arts, which we're focusing on Michael Clay Thompson.
Yay!
And then Evan Moore skill sharpener reading and this test prep book because she's used to that. Okay, so that is the grammar and language arts. Oh, hand me that handwriting book. Okay, let me tell you what happened in handwriting. So mommy felt like Serenity should learn to write cursive, and so I got this book. I looked at Handwriting Without Tears. And so I like this version of cursive, so you have to watch and make sure it's the version of cursive that you want it to be, because there's a newer, more modern version that goes more up and down. And she's like, but Mom, I already did all this. I already learned cursive. And I said, what do you mean? And so she showed me her 3rd grade notebook where she had indeed done the beginning stuff and then the letters. And so I said, okay, great. So start somewhere else. But then she said, oh no, I don't remember what order to do the lines in. So it felt like having to go backwards.
Yeah, and then I just decided not to do cursive.
Right. So we're going to table this. But I do believe that cursive is important. Do you remember why Mommy says cursive is important?
Because you have to have your signature in cursive.
Because you have to have a signature, and because you should try to be able to read the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, right? So we have these. We have copies of them. I won't pull them out. But you should be able to read cursive. Can you grab them? They're right there.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm planning to do is, when I was at the convention this year, I found that there was something called Sylladots, and I think it's rainbow. Oh, here we go. Constitution. Which one is this? This is the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. And look what they're written in cursive. So, in order to read, what if you're going to be a history professor and you need to read primary data and it's all in cursive? What are you going to do? You're going to have to learn cursive.
Yeah, but just to be mindful, if you ever get these, they are very hard to get back in the container.
That's true. Okay, so we've done language arts and math. And so we have struggled a bit with science and social studies.
What's science?
Well, we've been through a few renditions. So the first thing I did was we'd heard so many good things about Evan Moore skill sharpener science. And so there's a lot of sort of like you read something and then maybe you do an activity. And we did this a couple of lessons through the summer. And then we tried Mystery Science, right?
Yeah, and I like that one better.
You didn't like Mystery Science because it had the videos.
Oh.
You had to make the robot.
Oh, my bad.
You didn't like Mystery. I loved Mystery Science.
My bad.
I liked this even. But you were like, no, I don't want to do that. Okay, so what I learned about Serenity through this process is that she kind of likes notebooking. So she likes cutting and pasting. And so she's like, hey, can we just learn about animals instead? Learn about birds. And so, yeah, of course.
Okay, so this is what we were learning about.
What we did. So I started using, so it's a little hodgepodgey. We don't have a true curriculum yet. I'm still in search of one. I'm trying out Blossom and Root because it has a arts and crafts kind of. This was a Blossom and Root one.
Yeah, this is a Blossom and Root one.
Curriculum. What did you do here? Can you explain this to them?
Yeah, so I wrote the scientific name of a white tiger, and I wrote the kingdom, the rest, the class, order,
so this is how
family.
Right. So this was, and then we read a book about the guy who started naming all the things. Right?
Yeah, and then it was amazing.
And so she is really, really good at notebooking, is what I'll say. So I do think, so I've used some teacher paid teacher units, which can get expensive. And then I'm looking at Blossom and Root and doing some of their free samples to see if that's going to catch on, because I want to stop buying curriculum before I know if it's going to work.
Mama, can I show
And then, yes, and then, well, why don't you show them this in here? Look. Why don't you show them the one in here?
Right.
And then social
You
studies.
You do it. It's hard to open. And I just went through highlighted stuff.
Yeah, so these are teacher pay teacher about the president. So in 4th grade.
Oh no, I forgot to color the coat.
It's okay. In 4th grade in public school in Virginia, it's Virginia history. So I was very optimistic and bought a program called Virginia Studies Weekly, grade 4, and it comes with 30-ish weeks of these newspapers. And then
I never knew.
Yeah, you had those. And then it has tons of resources for teachers and quizzes and all the things you're supposed to know with Virginia history. And so we tried to do those at first, didn't we, Serenity? And then we were not super interested in the studies.
Yeah.
So then they said, well, we live in Virginia, and I decided I needed to get off the hamster wheel of achievement, and that we weren't studying to take a Virginia SOL this year, which is why everyone stresses over it, right? So we've been to a couple of places. We went to
James Monroe's house.
Yes.
The Monticello.
Right. Who lived there?
George Washington or something.
Not George Washington.
President
Thomas
Jefferson.
And then Daddy had taken you already to James Madison? No, James Madison's home, right?
Yep.
So
and
3 of the first 5 presidents.
And we went to this tavern. What was it called?
It's called Mitchie's Tavern.
Yeah, Mitchie's Tavern. A little secret about that place. Best biscuits you have ever tasted.
That's true. I agree. And then we went to Carter Mountain Orchard when we were in Charlottesville.
Yes.
So part of the notebooking, is that when we go on trips, we're taking just a few pictures. I'm trying not to do crazy pictures. And then we're posting.
They'll stop me.
We're posting. Well, they see you. So that's science and social studies notebooking, because we asked about. I bought 2, and I said, can one be science and one be social studies? And you said what? That you want them together?
Well, yeah, because I stole one. Here, hand me it, and I can show them.
I don't know where yours is.
It's behind you.
Oh, okay. So she stole. The reason I do want to tell you about these notebooks. I like these notebooks because they're bigger than 8.5 by 11. So 8.5 by 11.
Skip all of this.
Fit on them.
Okay.
So she likes one.
Let's skip all of this.
She uses it as a sketchbook, which is fine. I mean, they're not expensive, so just order
this cake guy. This is the cake guy. So I used the sketching. Mm-hmm. Please don't copy my art because that feels foolish. This is a cake guy because he has a cake on his sleeve, and this is just like half of his pants colored. So, and I like to add like the nose rings, earrings, cat ears, that stuff. But this type of material of paper, it's really used to sketch, not to paste and glue stuff on. I mean, this one isn't, but it's okay. But this one, I just stole it, add some stickers on it, and I was like, I'm going to use this as my sketchbook. And I have my little puppy companions. All
right, so this was a hope, geography, because I thought life skills, she needs to know math, right? And so this was another Evan Moore skill sharpeners, which I think are beautiful, and everyone swears by these, and you just didn't seem super interested in these.
Yeah, I didn't like. That's the one thing I didn't like about that.
So things that I liked. I have this All About Mom and Me journal.
Oh yeah, we get to write and stuff, and it's really cool. And I'm just picking all the
Mom writes
drawing.
here and daughter writes here, so we're going to try to do that once a week. I really wanted her to learn keyboarding, but we're trying to not do a lot of screen, so I have this for when she shows an interest.
Wait, what?
In keyboarding.
Which one is it?
Then I also bought this. This was a total Facebook Lily learning.
Lily
practice. Remember the practice handwriting with
Oh, yeah.
invisible? That's really cool. She does like that.
I really love that.
And then I have this health book, which I would want to get through this year, but it's only, not too many pages, maybe 20 lessons. 25 lessons, and so she's just, she turns 10 in November, and she hasn't shown a great interest in it. The book is here. She knows the book is here, so if she starts to have questions or anything like that, we can start reading about it, but it hasn't come up. So we're going to hang on to this until she's interested. And then we have a keyboard, which I'm hoping to get her some kind of keyboard program to learn keyboarding.
That doesn't have a lot of games or screen stuff on it, but like just focusing
on the keyboard.
Yeah.
And then she loves art. She loved pastels. She loves painting. So I got all of that. We haven't used it yet. I'm not sure why we haven't used it yet. And then I invested in this planner, which I was a sucker for the planners. I love a planner, but I will tell you, this is way too big for me, even though it's their minimalist planner. I'm basically a reverse planner, so I write down what we have done. I don't have a sense of pacing yet. We're just going to see how it goes and kind of reassess in the next few months. I'm not one to want to fill in. I have my own planner that has months in. I do like the book list. I do like where it has notes for next year. I do like the attendance page, but a lot of this weekly plan stuff I'm not going to use. So I'm going to use it for this year, but I'm going to go in a different direction next year for that, something that I can put together. So, have we covered everything?
To show them something.
What do you want to show them?
So, like this first math problem wait, it's upside down.
I think that happens with YouTube. I don't know how to fix it. All right, go ahead.
So this is the first problem I saw. It was 5 times 1 equals 5. It is very like that was the first one, and I already knew that one for some reason, and I didn't even know times, and I just shouted out, "The first one is 5," and Miss Richards was impressed. So I was like, and she was like, and she just gave me some candy, and I was like, yippee.
So we talked a long time. This is curriculum, so you can pick up that we're first years. We're first YouTube video.
Oh no.
I'm Heather. That's Serenity. 4th grade, turning 10. We're secular homeschoolers. Do I work full time or part time?
She works part time.
I don't work part time. I work full time. Do you feel like I'm more or less?
Yes.
All right. So we'll sign off and we'll do another one later. How's that sound?
Okay. Bye.